We have all seen it. That car lazily swerving in and out of its lane and occasionally jerking itself straight back onto the road again. And with no surprise to us, when we finally hop in the left lane to get around the road hazard, we see them focusing their attention not on the road, but on their phone. You might be profiling this hypothetical bad driver as a millennial that believes their snap streaks have a much higher value than the lives of anyone around them. In fact, 62% of Penn State students admit to regularly engaging in this dangerous behavior. Yes, millennials are possibly the most serial of these offenders. They're not the only ones. Teens do it, parents do it, and adults do it too. Basically, everyone is guilty of this activity except our grandparents, and the only reason they're missing out on the fun is because their 2005 flip phone is not capable of running the most recent update of Instagram. Now, you might think this problem has minuscule effects that have no need to be dealt with, and if you happen to think that way, you're just wrong. You see, in 2015 alone, 431,000 people were injured in auto accidents directly attributed to texting and driving. The same behavior is the cause of 16% of all fatal auto accidents in the United States. Because of this addiction to Snapchat checking, Instagram updating, and Facebook stalking, thousands of people are losing their lives for no good reason. And you know what? That is a tragedy. With the problem that exists today, like texting and driving, there has to be a way for society to fix it. Yes, we could use new technology that disables our phone whenever we are in a car. Yes, we can make everyone own driverless cars, so that it won't matter whether or not we pay attention on the roads. And yes, we could have loads of campaigns that try to make people stop texting while at the wheel. But all these options are either extremely unrealistic, or they haven't worked. What is seemingly being forgotten is the fact that we have been here before. We were in this exact same place 14 years ago trying to fix another problem of impaired driving that was seemingly out of control. To fix our drunk driving problem, Pennsylvania state legislators changed the penalties for drinking and driving. By making them more severe, the number of accidents related to drunk driving has been on a significant decline. By raising the penalties for the offense, drivers are willing to change their behavior, which in turn reduces the number of accidents, therefore making the roads a much safer place. This same principle can be applied to fix the texting and driving problem. By raising the penalties for texting and driving to the same levels as drunk driving, drivers will be motivated to change their behavior and put down the phone while at the wheel. Now, you might say that these penalties are too harsh and that texting and driving is not nearly as bad as drinking and driving. And although you may think that, statistics prove you wrong. Believe it or not, it takes a texting driver 70 feet to react to a stimulus, as opposed to a drunk driver who just takes 8 feet. Still not convinced? Studies have also consistently proven that a driver on their phone has an impairment level greater than a driver with a 0.08 BAC. And in case you weren't aware, a driver with a 0.08 BAC is considered legally drunk and can be arrested for drunk driving. Also, in 2015, there were 430,000 injuries caused by texting and driving, opposed to 290,000 caused by drinking and driving. That's 140,000 more injuries from a behavior that people try to claim is not that bad. Once again, raising these penalties are warranted given how texting and driving is just as dangerous as drinking and driving. But if we can avoid sending people to jail and issuing large fines, I'm all for it. But the fact of the matter is that all the other options we have tried have not worked. A $50 fine and a slap on the wrist just isn't enough to get drivers to change their bad behavior. Companies such as AT&T have had catchy campaigns to try and persuade their drivers to take the pledge and stop texting while they're driving. And yeah, these efforts are good and all, but once again, they don't work. Looking at all these failed attempts is what keeps bringing me back to the solution I am proposing. Raising penalties has been proven to be the only thing that works in changing driving behavior. To implement this solution, it all comes down to a local representative for your state legislature. Contact them. Voice your concerns about this issue, and they will in turn do their job and begin the process of changing the current policy. Much like what happened before, passing a law that raises the penalties for texting and driving will immediately get drivers to change their behavior. By bringing the penalties up to the same level as those of drunk driving, we can expect an immediate and sharp decline in texting-related injuries and death. And once again, the roads will be a much safer